Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm kind of a mess here tonight. I got boards in here and everything. Uh, things got moved around. But hi, good evening. Dave, there you are. Thank you so much. Hi, Alicia. I'm getting better. Um, Outdoor lights. That's very good. Um, phew, it has been a week. When more people get in here, I will. Oh shoot, I've got to get my where did I leave it? So road trip, my cord. There it is. Ta-da! Right here. So I'm just still unpacking and getting myself together here. Excuse me. There will be a few of those tonight. So get get you guys charging. There you go. Feel the power. Feel the power. Yes, Alicia, I did. Um, one day in. Oh, goodness sakes. So, yes, I'm um, recovering from pneumonia and sinus infection and altitude sickness. So, it gives you a clue. Oh, goodness sakes. Um, the altitude sickness is what kicked off everything else. And so, just been getting in there. Just spent 20 minutes. Hi, Kiri. How are you? Hey, Bex. Um, yeah, I'm very, very stuffy right now. So I have my tea, and it is peppermint, mullein, sage, and elderberry. I already took my fermented garlic that's been fermenting in honey for like 3 years. And yeah. Um, I usually do Alicia, but I haven't had it for like 3 years. So, and I was not on track to get it at all. I was staying really healthy and everything, but I'll t- I'll talk a little bit more about altitude sickness when more people come in. But wet but not sick, so doing okay. Well, good for you. That means you're getting some rain there. So I'm not sure how long I'm going to last here tonight because I'm just getting my voice back and everything. But um, yeah, it's been that long. It's been that long. Um, is every year that I don't get it is a huge win for me. So that's where I keep track of it really well. Chicken Road is Chicken Rodeo. Okay. I was like, Chicken Road, what is that? Chicken Road. Um, but anyway, yes, it was my vacation that I've been looking forward to for a long time and went to the Grand Canyon. I did not realize first with all of the construction and work and everything, I didn't have a lot of time to research beforehand. And so really just about everything that could go wrong, what did go wrong on the trip. Flights were great and everything, but rental car was a nightmare. Um, anyway, got that all straightened out. But um, yeah, flew into Phoenix, Minneapolis to Phoenix, and then got a car and drove up to Flagstaff, which is about 3 hours or so. And I did not realize that Flagstaff was at 7,000 feet. And then, so I was feeling fine the night I got in, which was last Saturday night. And, just exhausted because I hadn't had much sleep the night before and like 16 hours of traveling and So I was ready for bed and slept well, slept a good long night, and probably 10 or 11 hours. And then the next day I went to church and then met up with a friend of mine from high school and college that she's the historical architect for the Grand Canyon, which is really cool. And so anyway, we had planned on because she had day off on Sunday. We planned on spending that time getting together and visiting, and she would give me a personal tour around um, all the points and everything around the southern rim of the canyon, and then Canyon Village and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it was wonderful. We were there about 6 hours and hiking, walking all around. But the Grand Canyon rim is at 8,000 feet elevation. So when you start getting up that high, things start happening. And so I was okay at first, didn't notice anything, but um, just I did notice that, I if I was even a little incline, if I was walking up that or something, it was just like, oh man, I was just huffing and puffing and not my usual thing. And so the longer the day went on, the quicker I got tired, and it was like I could feel the lack of oxygen. And it was just felt like I was having like an asthma attack the whole time. And it would be and it was so dry there too, which I'm not used to. And I mean, I had my water, I was drinking it like crazy, but as I was trying to take in and breathe, get more oxygen in and everything, it was drying me out more. And so and then there's a lot of they were having controlled burns going on in northern Arizona and around the canyon and stuff. And so there was a lot of smoke from that. There was pollution that had blown in from LA, and there was just all the dust from the high desert and everything. I'm just not used to all the dust. And so that whole combination that was all going into my lungs and stressing me out, and found out that altitude sickness targets your heart and your lungs. Those are the two things that it targets most. And so anyway, my lungs being a weak point naturally is they were going to be hit. So I got back to Flagstaff where I was staying, and so it's like an hour and a half drive from the canyon. And so when I say the canyon is the Grand Canyon, so everything else pales in comparison. Um, but yeah, that is really high up. That is. So hi Donna, how are you? Hey Patty, Driftless socks took you almost 10 minutes to oh, but hey, you're getting rain. That's so great. As a very young man, you climbed Mount Washington. Wow. 6,000 footers was winded even as basically as a kid in your prime. Yeah. So, I I could just picture all of us, at least those of us over 60, that are here, um, trying to climb up together at the same time and just like wheezing and on our hands and knees and just trying like water, water, it's like air, give me oxygen. It's like the geriatric climb. Yes, crawling. Oh, thank you, Donna. Yes, I am improving quite a bit. So, oh, you went there in 1984, drove with your mom. So that's what yeah, I hear you, Alicia. I found out after the fact, of course, that the best way to approach that is to drive and take your time with the elevation, like every 3 to 4,000 feet of elevation, make sure you stop and stay a day or something like that and just acclimate yourself. And and then just if I were to go up to the rim, hit that 8,000 feet, then only just stay an hour or 2 and then come back down or something, and so, but I didn't know, and, my friend has been living there. She's lived in Arizona for 37 years, mostly in, like, Prescott, which is still at probably 4 or 5,000 feet or something, and then she's been a year and a half now at the Grand Canyon, and so lives right there on site, and so, yeah, to have that view as your workspace every day, I can imagine, so she's quite used to it, and, knew that it's hard on people never being there, but it was, so anyway, oh, thank you, Donna. Yeah, I apologize, guys, when I go into a cough. I can't help it. But it was a 2-week camping trip visiting national parks. Like, cool. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, I don't like heights either, Alicia. So I did not go right to the edge of things. I found places with really good views. So I have a lot of good pictures, and I will try to put them together in a video of some sort. But anyway, So so anyway, that was a Sunday, and then I got back to Flagstaff, like, by 8 o'clock at night, and, by the time I got back, I got dinner, and was starting in with fever and chills, and, slept okay that night, but then the next morning, I was just, like, feeling worse, and just kind of hung out in Flagstaff, which I didn't really realize Flagstaff itself was at 7,000 feet. And so that's nothing to sneeze at either. and the so so Monday, yeah, I was just kind of went to get some groceries and do a couple things, and I was just feeling worse as the day went on. And by Tuesday morning, um, You know, I was in urgent care by Tuesday morning. I was so sick, and because I could just feel a pneumonia coming on, and so I don't know, you know, if I had already had something that I was coming with. I mean, I was already tired and different things like that. But anyway, it was um, it was an interesting trip. So yeah, so I got all of the good stuff, and the oh, it's just, I mean, things like I forgot my Medicare card. I had my other insurance cards, I had all the other stuff, didn't have my Medicare card, which is the hospitalization. And no, that's doctor office visits and hospitalization. So not good not to carry with that one. So I had to pay cash for that. So I'm like, okay, it became a very expensive trip. But anyway, so Wednesday, I wanted to go down into Sedona, which is, like, southwest of, Flagstaff, probably an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour, and that was all, mountain hugging, cliff driving, hairpin turns, all that kinda stuff all the way down, but you drop, 3,000 to 3,000 feet. And so I was trying to get down there to spend some time down there to relieve my symptoms and everything. But by the time I got going and got down there, I was down there and realized it's like, okay, I need to be back before dark, so I'm not on that mountainside at dark. And it's like, so I got down into Sedona, did a couple roundabouts, and then turned around, went back up the mountain. So that was my first trip to Sedona, and it was kind of crazy. But yes, Alicia, I have an inhaler. So hey, Deb, how are you? Month of traveling back to lots of seasons changing, winter ice, and lots. Okay, yeah. It's good to have you here. Good to have you here. So he had a mild heart attack. He was taking a walk at your brother's place in Idaho. Oh my goodness! Wow. definitely one for the record books. Certainly learned a lot from that. So, yeah, I'm sure there is, Donna, and I just didn't. I don't know. For some reason, didn't. I was not even thinking that about that. I just had so many other things on my mind, and and trying to take care of that. I just didn't even think of that one. So you're at 2,100 feet. You dropped 2,000 north or south. Wow. So you are like on the top of a hill there. Yes, I can do that, Deb. Um, in fact, I was supposed to do that today and I didn't get to it, but um, they said that the doctor's office would do that. They said I have to just send them um, a copy of my card and they will refund me. So as soon as they can bill Medicare, so that'll be good. Um, Stuck around for a while. Yeah. Yep. It's you can feel the difference in his breathing when he goes downhill. Okay. Wow. So so yeah, so it was like a quick trip to Sedona. And then so the next day I just Thursday I just rested and did some laundry and stuff because I was at a timeshare. And so took care of that. But then my friends, so it was a girlfriend of mine from high school, and we roomed together in college. So she and her husband live up there, and so it's just so good to see her again. And anyway, she they decided to. We were planning to get together Friday because it was a federal holiday and she had the day off, so we were going to do that. But they called and said, "Hey, what if we came up a day early and then go out?" We were going to go to the observatory in Flagstaff because I love looking at the stars and everything. And so they said, "Well, why don't we come up? We'll take you out to dinner and we could go do that." So dress warm. It's like, okay, as warm as I can bring from the clothes that I had with. And so anyway, we went to dinner and I was just a mess. I was coughing and hacking and it was like, kind of like, guys, and they're like, we're not going to do this tonight. And because it was like 34 degrees and windy out there, and it's like for me to stand out there with pneumonia and all that stuff, it'd be like not a good idea. So we canceled those plans, and I just went back and tried to sleep again. But um, so then Friday we so they stayed, and so we spent the day Friday and went back to Sedona and my friend's husband drove the whole way, which was really nice. So I could just sit in the back seat and take a nap whenever I needed to. And when I'd be looking out, I'd be like, "Oh, I want pictures of that." So they'd pull over and stop, and we can get pictures. And um, so I got to see Red Rock State Park, Bell Rock. It sounds like Gandalf's Balrog. Belloc. Oh, for those other Lord of the Rings nerds. Um, anyway, so we did that and um, saw Montezuma's castle. So it was like a indigenous dwelling, in the rocks and stuff like that, and um, just a bunch of different things around there, and they had a Chapel of the Holy Cross, which is a little church that's built right into the rock of the side of the mountain and everything. And so a lot of people, you have to really climb some stairs to get up to that. And it was like, not happening. Not going to try for that one. So, anyway, we, so we toured around and I got back to my place about 6 or so and then just packed and we went out for dinner and so I had to pack and do some stuff and came back on Saturday. And as soon as I drove down to Phoenix. Things were getting better. I mean, I could feel the pressure leaving, and so I got my plane and my flight in back to Minnesota, and I stayed at my brother and sister-in-law's Saturday night. And by yesterday, I was already breathing better. And I mean, it's amazing what taking that altitude pressure off of it helps with your pneumonia and your breathing and stuff. It's just amazing. So I did go back to my doctor today, and he's like, "You're doing so much better. You're doing great." So he said, "Just keep doing what you're doing." So I've got my tea finally, which one I did not have with me, and I've been like eating these things. Micolo Swiss Alpine herbs, or lemon mint. Really helps with my throat and coughing and stuff. And so anyway, yeah, inhaler and all that good stuff and all my medicine. So that's been my adventure. My grand vacation that I planned. So, but I have some good pictures, even though I wasn't feeling up to it and everything. But you got elevation sickness down. You went to visit Colorado. Yeah, that could definitely happen. You know, they say that it's only like over 8 or 10,000 feet, but it's like, boy, it can affect you. And I think it depends on um, your physiology and different things like that too. That how that affects you. But I've heard. I was talking to my chiropractor today, and he's like he went to Colorado, and I don't remember what area of it, but he felt that too, like because he's got asthma, and he could feel like he's like it was like an asthma attack having that, and I can definitely feel that. So should be, you're coming of age. Well, congratulations, Deb. Join the party. Oh my goodness. Um, I exactly, Curie. I totally get it. I want to recall it. You eat those when you're not feeling too good too. Okay. My misadventure. I know. I know. It was so true, Donna. So true. And so I felt so badly for the people around me on the plane. I mean, I had a mask on. I was coughing I had my sweatshirt all bundled up, and I was coughing into that. But you know, sometimes you get on these the spasmodic jags type thing where you just cough and cough and you just can't stop. And it was like, they're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to catch? But it really wasn't anything contagious because it was all internal for me. So chewing some ginger. Ooh, I was just at the store today. I didn't get any. That's a good idea though. That's true. It didn't help at all. So the only thing that helped was just sucking on these things, keeping my throat moisturized and everything. So anyway, yes, my grand adventure. So I hope you don't mind if I have one now, guys. And I'm trying to talk when I've got this in my mouth. So let me get my book, but it'll help to keep me from coughing up and everything. So not coughing up, but you know, my brain is still not great. Oh, so I hope everybody else is good. How have you been the last 2 weeks? I didn't even ask you guys. So that was my adventure and where I was. So, but it was a bucket list item. I've been wanting to see it for like forever because everybody talks about it and you see pictures and anyway, it was something. So we have been talking about saving seeds. And 2 weeks ago I started and we talked about leeks and oh, Deb, thank you. That's so sweet. Oops, I'm going to turn my ringer off here. And I talked about how to save seeds for leeks. Don't ask me any questions. about that again because I'd have to go back and read it again. I highlighted, passed it, I passed on the information, and then it's like out of there right away. So I would have to go back and read it myself. You're starting your safe seeds tonight. Oh, cool. Hey, Kathy. 3 weeks ago, your husband. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Still an AFib after 3 weeks. Oh, that's tough. I hope they get that fixed and situated. My friend's husband that I was traveling with and doing stuff. So, hey, Eli. He had an ablation 2 weeks ago. No, what was it? A week and a half ago. Yeah, it was the day I flew in, actually, and a heart ablation because he'd been having AFibs and stuff like that for a long time, and so they went in there and took care of everything, but he was still having them, so it'd be off and on, but it would be kind of crazy. Yes, hi, stranger. Thank you. Yes, Kathy, we will be praying for your husband. What's his first name? So I can keep him in prayer, son. And again, I'm sorry I'm sucking on this thing, but it's better than having me hacking in your face. Oh, I know it leaves you so weak and just crazy. So, if you missed 2 weeks ago, I went through kind of a whole introduction on saving seeds and all the different things, and so there was some really good information on how that again started with it, and the things you can use for it, and all that kind of stuff. So, and why it's good to save seed, and what kind of seed to save, what to look for. So, oh, okay, Dave, I hope it goes well for you. I really do. I know you said you were didn't you have to wear the harness for a while or something? So, hey, Caitlin. Mike doesn't feel it at all. Seeing the car. Okay. Probably just leaves him feeling weak, right? And lightheaded, I would imagine. So, okay. Common onions. So we're doing the allium family, which is like leeks, onions, garlic, all that kind of stuff. So those are alliums. Today we're just going to talk about regular common onion. Botanists believe that the onion originated in Iran and Pakistan. You're like, okay. It's very deserty. Tough climates. I wonder how it originated there. Maybe that's where Noah collected it somewhere else and it dumped right there. Okay. Onion carvings and seeds have been found in Egyptians. I have a stink bug on my teacup? Really? We don't have stink bugs here right now, but I do have. Oh, thank you. It's a box elder bug. Yeah, I don't want to be. See, oops, where'd you go? Did I lose you? Let me see. I was going to show him to you, and he decided to jump ship. But thank you, Patty, for letting me know. In caps. You have a stink bug. It's a box elder bug. They're not stink bugs, but they are annoying. We're having an elongated fall right now. And it's been you know, 2 weeks ago we had snowstorm, and, I think it was the last time, yeah, I was talking to you guys, and it's like, "It's snowing out there." We ended up having 3 inches of snow, and, it was crazy, crazy, crazy. It took, um by the end of that week, it was still there was still snow on the ground, so, it stayed cold. But last week and this week now we've, been in the 40s and 50s. I think today we even hit 60, so it's really crazy. So, we'll see. Maybe um, next week we'll be back down in the winter time or something, I don't know. Did you all see that? You wanna see my cup? No bug now. This is a, Pioneer Woman mug. There's no bug in here either. No bug in my mug. Sounds like a, Dr. Seuss thing. Is there a bug in your mug? A stink bug cousin? Okay. Bug seller. Yep, they're a nuisance. November 1st, you had enough snow for Jake. Oh, good. Fun. I find something just popped up. Okay. Well, sorry about those ads, guys. I put them on as infrequently as I possibly can. I still haven't figured out how not to have it at all, other than to demonetize my video, and that would be the only thing. But since I'm not doing other videos, this is the only way I can get anything. So sorry. So okay, onion carvings and seeds have been found in Egyptian tombs dating back to 3200 BC. Greeks and Romans wrote about onions as early as 400 BC and held festivals during onion harvest. Um, by the Middle Ages, onions had been transported throughout Northern Europe and were used as both food and medicine. And we did, in I think my herb series or something, talked about onions and all the medicinal uses for them and everything. So if you're interested in that or need to refresh your memory, go back and look at that live. It's been a couple years at least. Okay, so onion bulb formation is dependent on day length, the length of days, or they also call it a photoperiod, but the day length. Get to enjoy lunch at the Pinewood Pizza Restaurant? Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Oh, Deb, that sounds really fun. Okay. So there are three day lengths that they talk about. Usually only two that we end up seeing available for seeds, but there are three. There's short day, intermediate, and long day. So a short day requires 12 to 13 hours of daylight. And that's about what you get in the South for the growing season, if it's in the summer. Um, Intermediate varieties usually need 13 to 14 hours, somewhere in there. Long day requires 14 to 15 hours. So it can be a lot of difference between a 12-hour day and a 15-hour day for the length of growing time for your onions. That's very fun. Okay, so onions tend to bulb more quickly during warm days. However, and Carrie, this might help you out too. Um, Temperatures over 104 degrees Fahrenheit can actually slow down the bulbing. So if you're wondering why aren't your onions growing, it's hot enough. They will actually slow down. So despite these day length classifications, onion bulbing is really a response to the length of the night, not the daylight. So, which was interesting. Um, so let me see where I had that. Okay. Common onions are inbreeding plants. All varieties of seed-producing onions can be crossed by insects. Some of the top-setting onions produce fertile flowers that can contaminate nearby seed-producing onions. So they say a top-setting onion, which would be like the flower that is produced on the end of your stalk there. Um, there can also occasionally be some crossing between seed-producing onions and some varieties of other things. Pistulosum. Seed-producing onions do not cross with chives or leeks. So you can plant leeks and onions together and chives. So all of those things would be good. You don't have to worry about that. Isolation of 1 mile is adequate for seed purity. Bagging or various caging techniques can be used when more than one variety is grown in the garden. So you've got a Spanish or Walla Walla or something, and then you've got red onion. So, and you don't want to cross those, try to keep them separated, by either bagging or caging. So we already talked about what those things are like. Okay. Seed producing onions are biennials and require 2 growing seasons to produce seed. Onion bulbs that are going to be replanted for seed production can be harvested after the first season. Only the best bulbs should be stored for replanting in the spring. This is referred to as the seed to bulb to seed method. So you start onions from seed, let them grow to a bulb size, and then harvest those and then let them dry and store them away for planting that bulb again the next year. One of the things they said that you could do if your climate is mild enough is just to leave them in the ground year round and then they will come up. But I don't know if that's something you want to try or not. Onions will begin to sprout only after a period of rest. So you've got your 2 things, your period of rest, and then it goes into a dormant phase. So the period of rest, it varies from variety to variety and everything. But during that resting period, bulbs will not sprout, no matter, even if the conditions are perfect for it. You've got them in the ground, watering them. They won't sprout if they are not done with their period of rest. That should give us some idea. We could take some lessons from nature here and stuff like that. It's like, I have my period of rest. I have my rest. I'm not going to do any work. Even if everything's right and ripe and everything, I have to wait. Some good lessons, right? Following the resting period, the onions enter a dormant phase. During the period of dormancy, the onions will sprout if the temperature and humidity are both within the proper range. So during the next spring, the best, most true to type onions are replanted for seed production. As the days get longer, each onion will form a seed stalk and a flower head that contains hundreds of tiny flowers. As the seeds form, the flower and plant begin to dry. The seeds are encased in tiny pods that shatter easily. Onion seeds should be harvested as soon as the seeds are mature and the pods start to dry. The seed heads can be bent over into a sack, so you don't have to wait until it's like, okay, the plant it's still green, everything's going, but those seed heads, the pods are all drying up and everything. How do I don't want to pull that. But you can just bend that stalk over, put it into like a sack or a paper bag or whatever. And then just cut them from the stock to avoid losing any seeds during harvest. Because, onion seeds are so little. They're so, some onions come up this past spring that were missed last year. Me too. All of my onions did. There's an onion seed company south of you. Oh, that would be cool. Probably look like a whole bunch of dandelion blooms or something, right? Hey, Michigan Daffodil, how are you? So, the seed heads should be placed in a protected area away from direct sunlight to complete drying. Onion seeds fall free of the seed pods quite easily once the pods are dry. The remaining seeds can be removed with a commercial seed thresher. Other successful seed removal techniques include jogging in place on the seed heads. I don't know what that means really. Other than you're spreading them around on the floor, you're jogging in place on top of them. Rubbing them over a wire mesh screen or rubbing the seed heads together. Winnowing the seeds in a light wind will remove any remaining seed pods and debris. So, anyway, there you go. Here's a picture of Egyptian onion. See, they grow up the stalks and they grow little pods. Now these pods actually have then sprouted. So you can see here a bigger picture or clear picture of the pods that grew on the end, and then they've just all sprouted into more onions. I don't know if any of you follow hollers at all, but they grew the Egyptian walking onions this year, and so what they do is they end up bending. Oops, go away here. Not you. There you are. As they bend over and the little pod things hit the ground, and then they plant right there and sprout, and so they kind of keep walking all over the place, and they so it just kind of keeps on going. I mean, you only have to plant a few, and then they just keep spreading and spreading and keep growing and growing, and so they're very prolific. It will just keep on rolling there, so it's kind of cool. Now this is what the regular onions, the flowers, the seed stock flowers. I had a couple of those this year from the onions that I left in the ground. So that's where you can, bend the stalks over to be able to catch all those seeds in there. And this one's a little bit tighter. You can see these are blossoming out more, and then they dry up and the seeds are all in there. So like I said, they look like dandelion heads. They're kind of cool. So yep, they keep going. Now, one thing for any of you who are in the southern areas in the milder climates, they said what you could do is grow. You could have like two different years of onions going, and kind of rotate them through. But you could plant, have your summer crop. Well, actually, like started what was it? Trying to remember. Where I read it. Well, anyway, one of the seasons you can end up using to start from seed and then get the bulbs, and then take those, just again have their little resting period, and it might only be even 2 or 3 weeks or something, and then replant them in another bed for the winter, and then they can, or just plant them right again there, leave them in the ground, plant it for the winter, and then those will come up in the spring. Um, so then you could actually have like, say, one bed that start from seed, and the other one that started is your second year because they're two biennials. So you just have them rotating all the time and just keep them on going. So, so, so anyway, that would be really kind of a fun thing to do. To be able to do that. I was so amazed that mine came up this year, and Donna, you had some of that too. So, uh, the bulbs that I had left in the ground last winter, it popped up, and I got onions. So it was pretty fun. Um, then they have a Japanese bunching onion. This is what that looks like, Japanese bunching onion. So you can get a little onion there, and then it's just like a green onion, but then you can see where the seed pods are right there off of that, and see, used to using this part of it, get the little seed pods. Um, they're also inbreeding plants, have been used like green onions for centuries. They do not have a well-developed bulb, but definitely have the hollow tube-like leaves of an onion. Seed heads are formed after a cold period, although some varieties will form top sets instead. They can be insect cross-pollinated, and occasional crossing can also occur between varieties. So, seeds of Japanese bunching onions will retain 50% germination for 2 years when stored in cool, dry, dark conditions. Uh, Members of the Seed Savers Exchange annually offer about 22 varieties of bunching onions. Cool. There's a lot there. So they're basically a biennial, also requiring 2 seasons to produce seed. However, bunching onions will set seed after a short, cold period, allowing seed to be set in 1 year. Bulb formation is not an issue. Again, seeds can either be direct seeded or greenhouse started. Da, da, da. So another thing they show in here, or that they have in here for every single one, is a what is it, like the growing recommendations per region. So you have like Mid-Atlantic and Southern Gulf Coast and Upper Midwest. So it tells you exactly what to do for each of these seeds and the plants and everything, and how to remember. This is not like a how to grow things; it's how to save seed. So it'll give some growing information, but then it's like, okay, then harvest it now and do this during this time, and da 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 da. So anyway, it's really good and very interesting. All right, we will stop because that's all that I have for onions. We have other alliums next week. If you guys want to keep on with this, I mean, there's a lot here, a lot of seeds to cover in here. So if you guys are interested in having me continue with this, I will. She should have Pacific Northwest and Southwest too, doesn't she? Yeah, Maritime Northwest, Central West Coast, Southwest. So that's what I see there. Oh, thank you, Patty. I'm just getting, my head is getting harder and harder to breathe. So I don't know. So anyway, that's the onions. That's onions. Okay, good. I'm glad you like it. So, um, what do I have going on this week? I know we've got a fairly mild week. My my number one thing for this week is just to recover. I would love to get outside and just work and get things, winter prepped and everything, but it probably set me back. So, no bugs, no bugs. That was pretty funny, actually. There's a bug in your mug. So, I know it's like the onions are so easy to grow, and they're the oxygen is important. That's true. It certainly is. Oh, oh, thank you. Michigan daffodil. Mine was set off from altitude sickness. I was in the Grand Canyon, and it attacked my lungs. The canyon attack. Yeah, but it was so beautiful there. Oh my goodness. It's just so incredible. It's a high desert, of course, out there, which I mean, there's a beauty in it all of its own. And so I know, Donna, right? So how cold sunflowers could survive and grow. Surprise the goats haven't eaten the sprouts. I do not know. Um, I have some great pictures from the Michigan daffodil, but the trip was it was challenging all the way around. But anyway, I got sick a day in, so I was gone for a week. So it was pneumonia and sinus infection along with the altitude sickness. So fun times, fun, 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 fun. Anyway, guys, I think I am going to close it up for right now. And I'm so glad you could come. I really appreciate that. And I would have, I'm glad I didn't plan on setting up live from where I was at because I was not feeling good at all. So anyway, it would have been it would have been dark there, so you wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway. So, but anyway, you guys take care. God bless. Always have hope, and we will see you next Monday. You just take care and have a great week. So I hope all things go well with you. Yes, and I will do everything I can to get much better here. So uh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And Dave, I'll be praying for you for your all your stuff. So anyway, guys, take care. Good night.